Well, the start of the 2020 MLB season is just around the corner. And as we're gearing up for baseball to finally start, I want to bring in CBS LA sports anchor Kristin Smith for her thoughts on the shortened season and all the other changes we got going on this year. How's it going, Kristin?
Hi, Katie. It's going great. You know, the new normal. We're all trying to just hang in there together. So I'm so happy to be here with you.
The new normal, working from home, kind of like MLB has been doing for the past several months as they've waited for this moment to arrive. And I want to talk about the shortened schedule to start off with, because as we know, these teams are only going to be playing a 60-game regular season.
Right.
How do you think that's going to affect the Angels and the Dodgers' chances to contend this year?
Yeah, well, the Dodgers would contend whether it was a 60-game season or a 162-game season, Katie, just because they're that good. I mean, sure, they shipped off some young talent to get Mookie Betts for only 60 games now, but the good news is they get Mookie Betts for 60 games. So with Mookie, Jock Peterson, and reigning NL MVP Cody Bellinger, I mean, the Dodgers may have the best outfield trio in all of baseball. You know, the Angels, not to be underestimated, they're a very talented team. They could get very hot across just 60 games. But we do have to see what happens with Mike Trout, of course, about to have his first child, a baby boy, and will naturally take some time off. But he's the best player in baseball. So if he misses 3 games, not a huge deal. But if he misses 15 games, I mean, now with the changes, that's a quarter of the season. But in spite of all that, the team looks good. Anthony Rendon joining Mike Trout. They'll make some noise. Albert Pujols, he's 40, says he feels like he's 25. And I hope I can say that one day. Shohei Ohtani getting back in the game. So overall, Katie, I think we're looking at 2 very strong contenders here.
And not only, Kristin, is it a shorter season this year, but it's going to be interesting because the teams aren't going to be traveling as much. They're only going to be playing their division rivals and then the opposing league's division as well. So how does playing only AL West and NL West teams work in either of these teams' favor?
Yeah, with all the safety concerns, of course, you know, cutting the traveling so that competition is regionally. And you know, the changes affect the Angels in the way that now they have arguably the hardest schedule in the league based on last year's winning percentages. I mean, if you think of, they have to play 26 games, 26 of their 60 games against the Astros, A's, and Dodgers. The Astros and Dodgers had the 2 best records in baseball last year. So that's going to be tough. I mean, the Dodgers, they would have been the heavy favorite anyway, regardless of the schedule change. So I think they end up with a really easy schedule because they're clearly the best team in the division. I don't foresee any problems there. So I would say the Angels take more of a hit. The Dodgers definitely have the advantage.
And then I know the season hasn't even started yet, but if you had any bold predictions for who's going to make the playoffs from the AL and NL West, who would it be?
Well, let me pull out my crystal ball here. And but in the AL West, we're thinking, I mean, Houston won the division last year, but they lost Garrett Cole to the Yankees. So that might open the door for Oakland to win the division. We'll see. The Angels, though, do have a lot of talent. I mean, the key for them, I think, Katie, will be pitching depth. They'll need some guys to step up, and whether or not Ohtani will be able to pitch the whole season, I think will make a really big difference. So we'll see how that plays out. In the NL West, the Dodgers are the favorite. I mean, the D-backs and Padres should be better this year, so they could end up winning a wild card. I'd be very surprised if someone beat out the Dodgers in the division, though.
And then finally, as we know, among other changes this year, there also isn't going to be any fans in the stands to help cheer on their favorite teams. So is it really going to feel like baseball for these players without the crowd noise?
That's a really good question, and nobody really knows. I think it's going to be fascinating to see, and we're going to figure it out together. The players playing in these giant empty stadiums, it's going to be weird. The games are going to feel slower probably, though some of the rule changes that you mentioned are intended to speed up the game. But I also think these athletes are fighting for something bigger than just wins at this point. I think everything depends on the health of the league. So these guys are literally playing as if every game could be their last. And, you know, Katie, there's a phrase, we leave it all out there on the court. We leave it all out there on the field. And I think these players are really going to be leaving it all out there on the field for the fans at home. And I think we might be able to feel that tenacity when we watch these games. So will it feel like baseball? It's going to be super different. But I think absolutely we'll be able to appreciate the newness of it. And I think there's going to be a camaraderie with the players and all of us fans at home.
And we're going to get a chance to see real soon how this all plays out. Season starts July 23rd and 24th. Kristin, thank you so much for taking some time to break this all down for us. I'm Katie Johnston for CBS LA.